Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich joins me now. I guarantee, Mr. Speaker, this is probably the most entertaining government shutdown you've ever witnessed.
I have never seen anyone put it together the way you just did. I mean, it's accurate, but it's hysterical. And I think you've captured exactly, this may be the dumbest strategy that I have seen in a long time. There are two things the American people want. Do not close the government and do not raise spending. So what do the Democrats do? They say, I'm going to close the government until you raise spending. That's a double negative. Do you know how hard it is for a major party to design a strategy that has two different stupid things in the same strategy?
Well, who's designing the strategy?
Have some guys.
I mean, who's doing this? Is it Hakeem? Is it Nancy? Is it AOC? Is it Schumer? No one knows who's in charge.
Do you want my personally totally uninformed guess?
Yes.
There are 3 or 4 guys and gals, I don't want to be discriminatory, off in a corner at the DNC who, when they have enough cocaine, finally say, we're ready. Now let's do something brilliant. And they come up with stuff like that. You show me a better explanation.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. How long can this last? They're holding out for illegal alien health care.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a little bit like watching Putin as the entire world gradually rallies against him, and he can't figure out this is not a good idea. You have, first, I think the key thing here to remember is you have Hakeem Jeffries from New York City, and you have Chuck Schumer from New York City, a place so radical they're about to elect a man who is a clearly big government socialist with weird values. It's Mondami. Now, these guys live in a little bowl, and Chuck, of course, is running like crazy because AOC is about to beat him in the primary because he's not left enough, young enough, tough enough, and all the other enoughs. So they're sitting around going, we're going to have to prove we're tough. Why don't we pick a place to fight? Because we're going to really fight. A little bit like watching the thing you said with the governor of Minnesota, who I think is probably the least qualified person on the planet to talk about anything rational. So what do? They say, we got him. We're going to get Trump and we'll get the Republicans because we're going to stand firm. Meanwhile, in what has been, I think, a 2 or 3 month planning process, you have Speaker Johnson, with Trump's help, passing a totally clean continuing resolution. No policy fights, nothing. Totally clean. Then you have John Thune, Majority Leader in the Senate, pick up a totally clean thing, and they can't help themselves. They go, I got to run and jump off the cliff anyway. I don't care what it is. Now, I did notice, as the votes have continued, 3 Democrats are now siding with the Republicans.
Right.
I think another 2 or 3 days of this, they may actually get up to 8, at which point it'll be over. But it is really one of the dumbest moments in party history, certainly in the last 30 or 40 years.
Didn't we shut down the government in the 90s? What happened back then? I remember Lewinsky delivered
I did that.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about...
What happened there?
You're talking to the guy who did it.
Yeah, what happened there?
We shut it very simple. We shut it for 5 days to get their attention. We shut it for 29 days over Christmas and New Year's. But we said to the entire country, we are doing this to get to a balanced budget. And we did get the only 4 balanced budgets in the last 100 years. So the country said, oh, they're really serious, and it's something I want. Now, these guys are in the opposite position. The country doesn't want to give billions to illegal immigrants. The country doesn't want to give billions to guys who won't go to work. The country doesn't want to give billions to people who are, in fact, crooks. So the Democrats are jumping up and saying, if I yell health care, you'll be too stupid to know what I'm doing.
Right.
And if I decide I'm going to stop the government, you won't figure out I did it. This is literally, I think you have to start with the idea, this is the Schumer shutdown. That's what this is about. And they're not going to get away from it.
All right. Well, eventually the people in the back room will run out of cocaine. And then finally we can negotiate this thing away. Speaker Gingrich, great to have you on as always. We really appreciate it.
Take care.
The government shutdown costs taxpayers $400 million every day to pay federal employees who are not actively working, totaling $1.2 billion as of Friday. Congressional Budget Office, CBO, data published by the Office of Senator Joni Ernst, our Iowa estimates. Schumer's shutdown shenanigans mean taxpayers will be on the hook for another $400 million today to pay 750,000 non-essential bureaucrats not to work, Ernst said in a comment to Fox News Friday. Democrats' political stunt to fight for taxpayer-funded health care for illegal immigrants has officially become a billion-dollar boondoggle, she added. Enough has to be enough for the radical left. We must reopen the government and get Washington back to work serving veterans, families, and hardworking Americans. A law passed in 2019 requires furloughed employees receive Backpay after a funding agreement is reached and a shutdown ends. The CBO found that the furloughed employees' daily cost of compensation sits at about $400 million, or a total of $1.2 billion as of Friday. Using information from the agency's contingency plans and the Office of Personnel Management, CBO estimates that under a lapse in discretionary funding for fiscal year 2026, about 750,000 employees could be furloughed each day. The total daily cost of their compensation would be roughly $400 million, a letter from the Congressional Budget Office to Ernst stated Tuesday. The data was released after the Iowa Republican requested CBO provide a data cost breakdown of the shutdown in September, as the deadline clock ran out. The CBO data was largely based on statistics from a 5-week partial shutdown from December 22, 2018, until January 25, 2019, during the first Trump administration, the office noted in its letter to Ernst. The letter added that the number of furloughed federal employees, estimated at about 750,000 staffers, could vary by the day. Because some agencies might furlough more employees the longer a shutdown persists, and others might recall some initially furloughed employees. The government shut down early Wednesday morning after Senate lawmakers failed to reach a budget agreement. House lawmakers had approved a short-term extension of fiscal year 2025 funding earlier in September that aimed to keep the government funded through November 21st. The Trump administration and Republicans have since pinned blame for the shutdown on Democrats, claiming they sought taxpayer-funded medical benefits for illegal immigrants. Democrats have denied they want to fund health care for illegal immigrants, and instead have blamed Republicans for the shutdown. Fox News reached out to Schumer's office for comment on the CBO data and Ernst's remarks, but did not immediately receive a reply. White House spokesman Kush Desai slammed Democrats as not serious people when asked about the CBO data Friday morning. Democrats are burning $400 million a day to pay federal workers not to work because they want to spend $200 billion on free health care for illegal aliens, Desai told Fox News. These are not serious people. Trump repeatedly has said he did not want a shutdown to unfold, but noted Tuesday as the clock ran out that some good could come from it. A lot of good can come down from shutdowns, he told reporters. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things. But they want open borders. They want men playing in women's sports. They want transgender for everybody. They never stop. They don't learn. We won an election in a landslide. The administration is expected to lay off federal employees across various agencies amid the shutdown, with Trump meeting Office of Management and Budget Chief Russell Vought Thursday to map out which departments and programs to target for cuts. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters Thursday that thousands of employees will likely be laid off. Look, it's likely going to be in the thousands, Leavitt said. It's a very good question, and that's something that the Office of Management and Budget and the entire team at the White House here, again, is unfortunately having to work on today.